All right, everyone. Hi, everyone. Welcome to day 3 of 21-day beginners program. Let's get started. So today, let's talk about types of meditation. What are the types of meditations? So there are various kinds of meditations available, like focused breathing, box breathing, anxiety relief, and mantra meditation. But this is not we are practicing. We are practicing the anapanasati, observing the breath. That is the meditation we are following. And what meditation is not? What is not meditation? So, as I said, there are different types of meditations available, and chanting, like prayers, these are all not meditation. Anything that uses mind is not meditation. Like pranayamam is not meditation. Concentration is not meditation, or chanting the any mantras, it's not meditation. Meditation means it's emptying the mind, observing simple, soft, normal breath, just normal inhale and exhale, observing how the inhale is happening, how the exhale is happening, witnessing the breath. That is meditation. And I touched this a bit yesterday and the day before. There are various types of myths about the meditation. Some people think that it is a religious practice, nothing to do with any religious. You can practice whatever the religion you are practicing. You don't have to stop anything. And it is about training the mind. They think that no, it's nothing to do it. We are not training the mind. In fact, we are emptying the mind by observing the breath. And some people think that meditation takes hours of time. No, that's a total myth. It doesn't take many hours. It just practice, commitment, few minutes every day, sit in a still moment and observe the breath. And meditation is for yogis, it's not for common folks. That's a total myth. It is for everyone, whoever takes breath. In fact, if the regular people, the common people like us, if we meditate, we handle our relationships better. We handle our life much easier. We know we will take decisions with so much clarity. So we will basically lead a happy and peaceful life. It is for everybody. And meditation is a serious, it's not a serious affair. It is very easy process. Don't make it complicated at all. And they think that okay, it's alpha state mind, you have to go into this trance, that trance. No, nothing. It is very simple. Just observing your pure breath. That's it. Just witnessing how the flow is happening. And some people think that meditation is for those who wants to achieve the enlightenment. Yes, enlightenment will happen, but that's not the end goal. The end goal is like observing the breath, connect to yourself, empty the mind. That is the end goal. So it is for everybody. There is no specific goal. There is nothing to achieve through meditation. Just be in the still. That's it. And meditation, they think that instant peace will come. No, it's not. It's a commitment. It's like it takes some time, effort. Like a child, when the child goes to the school, it needs some effort. Consistency is the key. So similarly, meditation also needs some consistency of practice. And I said meditation is about going into the a trance. No, it's not at all that. There are so many other myths about the meditation, like you become the psychic, and it meditation can be dangerous to some people. No, it's very safe for everyone to practice it. And the another biggest myth I hear is meditation makes you run away from reality. Not at all. It wouldn't make you run away from the reality. As I said, in fact, you balance your family better. You take responsibility. You understand what life is. and you understand responsibilities. Actually, you will be more responsible towards your actions and your commitments. And there are other bunch of myths that people talk about. Meditation is for the ill people, meditation is for those who wanted to achieve money, or those who want to go to Himalayas and practice some yogis type of things. It is for everyone. The bottom line is it is for everyone who practice, whoever takes a inhale and exhale. This is for them. This is for the common people. Anybody can practice it. So I will stop right here for today, as I touched this before. And today we have Srinivas sir with us. Thank you, Srinivas sir, for joining us. And let me add the spotlight. Yeah, Srinivas sir is our main core pillar in the PSSM. He lives here in Thousand Oaks, and he's IT professional. He's very loving and kind person. I met him 3 years ago in a meditation event here in Simi Valley. Thank you so much, sir, for taking time to join this session, and he's with us to share his meditation journey with us. Sir, over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Satya, man. Thank you for having me here. So, yeah, like Satya mentioned, yeah, I'm a IT manager. I work for Bank of America, and let me little talk about how I got into meditation, right? So first I came across meditation, I want to say like 15 years ago or so. One of my friend is deep into meditation, and he was visiting me, and he explained the why meditation benefits, and he has us do the meditation, right? But at that time I didn't pay much attention. But later on I attended a 9-week program at UCLA in Santa Monica, mainly driven by it's kind of a lifestyle, uh, kind of how do you change your lifestyle program, right, to for better health kind of thing, right? So in one of the, it's like a 9-week program. I used to go twice a week, and it's like a 4-hour program every time, right? And one of the things that they would out of those 4 hours, right, 1 hour is how do you manage stress. So, and as part of that, I mean, they taught us how to meditate, and some simple yoga techniques, and we used to do around 15-20 minutes of meditation and deep relaxation and things like that, right? But I probably did that for a few months, right, on and off, but then I was not that consistent. And then back in March 2020 during COVID time, I know I came across a 40-day program. Buddha CEO was starting 40-day programs at the time. Buddha CEO is actually one of PSSM units, right? That is their core mission is to promote meditation at corporates, right? To leadership, and yeah, mainly promote at corporate level, right? So, and because it's a pretty good time, because COVID time, we were not going out at all, and we have a lot of free time, right? And I had the opportunity to attend multiple 40-day programs, as part of that. And that was really helpful. I mean, it's not just, the program talked about not just meditation, the science behind meditation. And every day we used to join at 5:30 p.m. our time, and like 1.5 hour, right? Listen to the class and then meditate, like what we're doing here, right? And then also as part of that, I mean, um, they recommended many books to read. I know that was also really helpful, right? As you're meditating, you're also increasing your knowledge, actually, right? Help me to really understand the concept better, much deeper, right? And then the sharing and community service, right? That's also another thing that the program was big on, right? And as part of that, after I actually led some book club sessions. When you do a book club session, really understand the book really well because, trying to explain the concept. So that really helped me as well, in my growth, right? Um, and so in terms of benefits, right? I mean, I would say I'd probably cover, three areas, right? Mainly at work. I realized after uh, doing the meditation, right? With the COPSSM, right? I mean, I had a lot more awareness of what's happening actually within me, right? Like when I'm stressed about something at work, then I would know, like, if I, like many times, I felt like, I was always in like some low level stress all the time, I'm worried about something or the other that's happening, many times not in my control, right? Not accepting something that's happening or, trying to, react to something that's really not in my control, right? Instead of, accepting actually. I mean, corporate, right? Every 2, 3 years, I'm sure if you're working, it's very common, right? You have a new boss, new management and new ways of doing things, new priorities and all that, right? I mean, yeah. So, I mean, so those types of things I realized, after getting into meditation, right, with the awareness that, yeah, I have a lot of stress coming unnecessarily, and it really helped me to overcome, right? Instead of reacting, responding, I mean, like, okay, so there's a situation, what is in my control, what's not in my control, who can help, right? All that, right? And also, like, while working with people, also, right? Assuming positive intent is something that I mean, I probably heard that concept before, right? Even like emotional intelligence concepts and all that. But then the, like the key thing that when you attend a class like that, right? But then, you don't, most of the time, you don't take any action because, you don't have that awareness, right? Meditation really helps to, increase your awareness, right? So you can apply those concepts, right? So yeah, for me, like working with my team, working with peer teams, assuming positive intent, right? I mean, when anybody that you're working with, right? If you assume that, they're doing their best, given their whatever their abilities, right? You're not judging people, and that really, helps you to like, okay, so it's like, okay, so, this is what needs to get done, how we can get that work done actually, right? Give them the benefit of the doubt so that, they're working with you, better than, like you, if you have some negativity, right? I mean, yeah, even you may not say anything, but then the way you communicate, people read that actually, right? But, if you don't have that internally, right, you stop judging people, and or, when you're getting into that state, right, you realize, you recognize and you stop actually, right? You kind of change actually, right? So that's another, benefit that I would call out, right? I mean, yeah. So, I realize, there are like some teams that that I need to work with, for effectively to get the work done, right? But then, you don't treat them as part of, as one team actually, right? You feel like, they're not doing good job, or, I mean, you really don't understand, when you think along those lines, right? Think from their point of view, right? So that's a benefit that I saw, right? After going through meditation and increasing my awareness, right? And then the other aspect I would say is, like working with people at, like my family at home, right? Especially my kids, at the time, I mean, yeah, so my younger one was still in high school, and back in 2020, right? I mean, it's like, yeah, generally when kids are in college, school, you worry quite a bit about their future actually, if they're not, how they're doing in high school, what college they get into, their grades, all of that, right? How you work with them, is changed for me quite a bit actually, I mean, yeah, yeah, so whatever happened, right? Like how I can help them, and with a yeah, with a positive mindset, actually, right? Without judging them, without being after them, right? I mean, yeah. So also, like, you want to build that. I learned, right, reading many, some of the books that the program recommended. Like, okay, how do you work with kids, right? I mean, yeah, I mean, if you work with them as you have power over them, right? They're not going to come to you, when they need help, actually, right? They're always trying to avoid or, hide things and all that, right? I mean, yeah, so you want to build a relationship where, they treat you like a friend and they reach out to you, right? I mean, I realized, over the years that it's more important to build that now, right? While they're at home, because, when they're in college, right, they're away from you, you can't really see what they're doing, and when they're in trouble, if they're comfortable coming to you, they need help, that they're going to come to you, right? It depends on the relationship that you build, right? Especially when you are at home, actually, when they're at home, actually, right? So that definitely helped me to improve my relationships with my kids, actually, right? And then the other thing, the COVID time, and even now, right? I mean, like, there's so much, I realized, I was spending a lot of time, reading news, actually, right? Or watching, news on TV. And most of the time, I mean, it's all negative, and nothing really, I mean, it's okay to understand really what's happening, right? But, if you're reading a lot of opinion based, and, most of the time, that's what when you read something, right? It's not just, like, whatever happened, but then, you have various points of view, people arguing and all that, right? I mean, even with the TV, like, they have a lot of negativity, and I realized, that's not good, right? I mean, yeah. So when you stop doing all of that, you're going to have a lot of time, actually, right, to spend time on reading books, or meditation, or doing, service, spiritual service, or whatever, actually, right? So, and then the other benefit is, definitely is, my sleep, overall quality of sleep improved, right? Because when you meditate regularly, I mean, yeah, you sleep better, and you also, like, the amount of time that you need to sleep, right? Is actually, number of hours that you need also goes down, right? You can use the time more effectively, so, and I mean, last, I would say, after coming to US, right? I mean, if you see, compared to other, like, how, like in India and all, right? We were, there's a lot more stress, actually, being in US, actually, because of the how, the things are here, actually, right? You have to worry about many things, and it's, I mean, that's, I realized, I mean, you're always in this survival consciousness. You're always worried about something or the other, because of how things are, and how we spend time and all that, right? So yeah, that's actually, I mean, meditation really helped me to take a pause, and think about, what's really happening, and how you can, change your thought process, actually, right? So, I mean, also, another thing that I learned, over these programs, right? I mean, yeah, your thoughts create your reality, right? What you're thinking about, matters, actually, right? If you have negative thoughts that have, that's not good for you, right? I mean, you're not, able to see things clearly. You're not able to take right action and all that, right? I mean, yeah. So, and one thing that also, after reading the books, right? I was actually doing a book club for You Are the Placebo book. After doing that, right? I mean, and it really occurred to me that, I mean, yeah, we should take some time to attend a multi-day program, actually, right? I mean, basically, I know we're all so busy with our day-to-day things, but like if given an opportunity, take 4 or 5 days a week, and really focus on going deeper, right? Like longer meditations, and also it helps you to deepen your practice actually, right? And gets you an opportunity to connect with like-minded people, right? I had an opportunity to attend a 5 day retreat in Mount Shasta actually. That's last year, and then also year before, a Sedona program, right? Like a 5 day program that really, help to, like do longer meditations in a group session, actually, right? In fact, also some of you might have attended, right? Last year when we did the Legative Meditation Summit in LA, I mean, those morning meditations were really wonderful, right? As a group, meditating, for a couple of hours, so yeah, so those are really, helpful, to taking the time away from your busy life, right? And you're working on yourself, So yeah, so in closing, right? I mean, I want to say actually, I mean, it's if you don't have awareness of your thought process, and your emotions and actions, right? I mean, you most likely, you are not in the present, actually. If you're dwelling in the past, you're stuck, right? You need to figure out how to come off that, right? If you are worrying about the future, you're very anxious, right? I mean, and you have less stress, right? I mean, the key is to, stay in the now, so that, you are able to see things clearly and, take right action, right? So yeah. So thank you, Satya. Yeah, so that let me turn it over to you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody have any questions? Please feel free to raise your hand and ask the questions to sir. This is a very open. Yeah, Ruchita.
Hi, yes, this is Ruchita. I'd be very grateful if you could put the names of some books in the chat. So if, we can look it up and maybe purchase a few books to read. And also if you were talking about some early morning meditations in LA and book clubs, if we could get, access to that information, I think that'll be very helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I'll actually find there's a list of like 25 books, and I'll post that, and I should be able to find that, right?
Thank,
I'll do that. Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you so much. So
And then, I mean, like these 21-day program, 40-day programs, like that, right? I mean, these are happening all the time, actually. I mean, yeah. So I will also share, right, the PM PSSM in your
Yeah,
group.
share it in the
So
group, sir.
yeah,
And your book club information also share it in the group. I will post it
yeah,
in the other groups as well.
right,
perfect.
right. Yeah,
Thank you.
sure.
And you also recently, last December, you went to India to attend the 5 day retreat as well, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right. Actually, I forgot about that. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I had the opportunity to do that same retreat, that we did at Mount Shasta at Pyramid Valley, Bangalore. That was really awesome. I mean, like
Okay.
that place is really, wonderful, right? If you have opportunity to visit Bangalore, right? Yeah, Pyramid Valley International Bangalore is really, yeah, place to
Yeah.
visit. Even if I mean, if you have a day or two, right? I mean, it's yeah, even for a few hours, it's you would enjoy, I mean, especially if you meditate and under that pyramid, right? So,
Mhm. Yeah. Anyone have any questions? So one person asked, sir, in the chat, actually, not here, WhatsApped me, um, how we will be able to come out of meditation if we meditate alone by ourselves.
you mean if you
If she meditate by herself, how she can come out of the meditation?
like, how does she know when to stop, kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of. Or how
Yeah.
maybe she might, I don't know, maybe she could be thinking that she might go into some trance as like whether I'll come back from the meditation or not.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, I guess, I mean, it depends, right? Actually, I don't know how to answer that. Most of the time, I meditate with like, okay, I'm going to meditate for an hour or whatever, right? 2 hours
Mhm.
or put some music and the music is over and then that's how you come out, right? But
Right.
yeah, I remember meditating also without any music actually. But
Uh,
yeah, I don't know. You will know, I guess, right? When to come
yeah,
out.
yeah. So it's a very, very natural process, I guess. We will just
Right,
know it when to come back.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I can suggest if you guys have such kind of doubts, I can suggest to practice guided meditation in the first 41 days or until you are comfortable with it. So in the guided meditation, they will take you out of the meditation at the end so that you will know, you'll be aware that. After that, yeah, you can try without the meditations or different meditations. Anyone?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Would 10 minutes of meditation every day be sufficient, or would it provide any results? Because some of the YouTube videos that I see run for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and they say practice for 10 to 15 minutes every day and consistently. Consistency is very important. So 10 to 15 minutes of practice every day will yield results. So what is your experience around
Yeah,
this?
no, right. I would say, right, that's what I was doing actually when I did the program at UCLA. But after doing 30, 40 minutes, right, for 40 days, I highly recommend, doing at least, 30 to 40 minutes. You don't see like 15 minutes, it takes time to get into that empty state actually, right? If you do only 15 minutes, I mean, 15 minutes is definitely better than not doing any meditation. But then, if you are able to do 30, 40 minutes every day, right? I would definitely recommend that. Because you won't get into that, like deeper states actually, right? Just in 15 minutes. But once you have a consistent practice, right? Like 40 minutes or, like you did for like 40 days or something, right? And, I mean, if you don't have time, you want to do a quick meditation, yeah, I mean, you could do 15, 20 minutes, right? But yeah, until you get into, a habit, I recommend, doing it 30, 40 minutes.
Does that answer your Jay? Your
Yeah,
questions, Jay?
yes, it
Okay.
answered my question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think you don't have time, right, for 40 minutes, that's like you should really see where how you're spending your time actually.
Mm,
Right. I mean, like you would, if you think meditation it will help you, you're going to find the time actually. But if you not, sure about, benefits of meditation or don't understand science behind and all, right, then yeah, you might hesitate. Right? So,
Ah, okay. So if we gradually increase the meditation time, like to start with only 10 minutes, then tomorrow 12 minutes, and gradually increase, that would
yeah,
also
yeah. Right.
be
Yeah. I
effective.
mean, right. But also, right, see, like you might have like let's say you're trying to meditate and 15 minutes later, you're becoming restless and you feel like you need to get up and do something, right? Those are all common actually, but that's why, they generally what they recommend initially, right? To do as a group, right? If you let's say you join a program like this and you're like, here you most likely you would meditate for like let's say 30 minutes actually, so versus if you try to meditate on your own, I mean, yeah, so you would easily give up, I think especially in the initial days, right?
Thank you.
right. Anyone?
Hi, this is Sangeeta.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yesterday after the meditation, I felt too fresh and couldn't get sleep. So, what do I do in that case?
But I would say it's a good problem to have, right? I would say read a book, then you're going to fall asleep, and read a spiritual book or, one of the books actually, right? In fact, actually, Dr. GK, right, is founder of spiritual tablets. He would, that's what he was recommending, and that's what he practices, right? Let's say he goes to sleep and 3, 4 hours later, he actually, he gets up for whatever reason, right? Because he doesn't need to sleep that long, and he would, do some work or, do some reading, whatever, right? And then he'll try to meditate for some time and then, I'll go back to sleep.
Yes, Sangeeta. 1 hour meditation is equal to 4 hours sleep. So you can do a lot of things. That is why you are active. So sir is suggesting you to read some books or do something. You can utilize the time very productively.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sangeeta. Anybody? See, when you ask questions, you will get the answer so that you can understand better. So please feel free to ask any questions if you have. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the session, for giving your valuable time today. So we love to have you back again and again, so we can
Sure,
start
sure,
the
yeah.
meditation. Would you like to guide in the beginning?
Oh, I don't have the track actually. You can go
Okay,
ahead,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll go ahead then. Thank you so much, Srinivas Garu.
Yeah, I'll post the list of books, right? Actually, briefly, actually.